Hey everyone! So today I wanted to do a video on basically what bipolar disorder is. If you look it up on, say, Google, like the definition of bipolar disorder, you might come across something that along the lines of a mental disorder marked by alternating periods of elation and depression. So that, is pretty general. So I just wanted to kind of go into it a little bit more. So I've wanted to do a topic like this for a while, but getting out of the hospital and everything, I just kind of wanted to stick to positive videos for a bit. But this one's been kind of like eating away at me to do. So over the past month or so, I've been posting videos and communicating with others suffering with mental illnesses, and I've realized that the ignorance on mental illness, especially bipolar, is a lot worse than I initially thought it was. I've literally read comments like, "We all know they are psycho," relating directly to bipolar. Anyways, I think that was like the tipping point for me. So I decided that now is a good time to do this video about, what bipolar disorder really is. So, first of all, bipolar disorder is just the new age term for manic depressive or manic depressive illness. So there's no point in comparing the two because they're basically one and the same. They're exactly the same. Second, bipolar disorder is just that, a disorder. And if you don't know what a disorder is an ailment or some sort of effect on your mind or your body. So, obviously, bipolar disorder causes you to shift in moods and energy, sometimes severely and rapidly, making it almost impossible to live a normal life. Pretty much end of argument there. It's like the definition of disorder. Another thing that I wanted to cover that I've heard a lot in comments is that bipolar is something that we choose or we use to cover up, say, things that we've done in our lives. And we feel like if we place the label of bipolar on it, that it kind of makes it okay or better for us. And that's not true. Bipolar disorder is not something that I chose to have. It's not something that I ever wanted. It pretty much came out of nowhere at one of the worst times in my life. So I don't know why I'd want to pile more crap on the plate, so to speak. So that to me is just a cop-out for somebody who doesn't know anything about mental illness, and you should really educate yourselves before making comments like that because they are extremely hurtful. Like, I don't ever want to hurt anyone or myself while I'm manic, and I'm always afraid that that's gonna happen because, like, you really don't know your own strength in those moments. But another one of the myths, I guess, is bipolar disorder isn't real. It is real, and many people suffer with it. I was lucky enough to be diagnosed very quickly with it, but I've heard complete horror stories from other people of being misdiagnosed for years before they get their actual diagnosis of bipolar and get on the right medications. Because if you're just diagnosed as depressed, like any sort of depressive illness, they'll give you antidepressants. And antidepressants, a lot of the time, will make bipolar worse and make you more suicidal or trigger a severe mania episode or something like that. And it's just not good. So it kind of frustrates me because I think in a way it's kind of linked to the fact that the people that we go to for help don't always like actually listen to us. They hear the words we're saying, but they don't actually take them to heart, if you know what I mean. And if the people around us actually listened to what we were saying to them, then maybe we wouldn't get so misdiagnosed and we wouldn't have to suffer so much going through all these different medication treatments and things that just make it harder for us. Also, I just wanted to touch on the fact that when you're younger and you start, behaving differently in the classroom or something, everyone's so quick to slap on the ADD or the ADHD label on you, just because you're a child that's different. And maybe you do have ADD or ADHD, but maybe you're just a child who's different. And so what if you don't want to sit in your seat for hours and listen to the teacher speak? Like, if you learn better by moving around or fiddling with something in your seat, then what's the big deal about that? Not everyone learns the same way. Why do children always have to conform to what the teacher wants? You're supposed to be the one teaching them, so do it in a way that that they can listen and they can remember and they can understand. Just know that not everyone learns the same, and when you have a class full of 30 kids, chances are that you're going to have some kids that don't learn the same as how you like to teach. So just slapping on the label that there's something wrong with them because they don't like the way you teach is completely ridiculous to me. And I just wanted to finish up with, there's a lot of stigmas and ignorance surrounding bipolar especially, and I am completely open to questions and comments. I can only take a certain level of ignorance though. I'm not gonna lie. If I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall, then I don't know how long I can keep up a conversation with you, but if you have questions, I am more than willing to answer them and to try to shed light on any doubts that you may have about bipolar disorder and any stigmas maybe that you've heard or missed around the illness that you want answered. So please feel free to reach out to me that way. For all my usual followers, just remember that you're always going to face people who are going to make it harder for you, that are going to tell you that your illness is fake, or that you can control it, or that, just things that aren't true, and just don't let them get to you. Stay strong, and remember, you're never alone.